Television, John. Television, John. My God. What's happening? Well, this one is work. The one who used to did this informal, but that's not the right format for Facebook. Hi, Jenny. Sorry, we are trying to figure out the phone is giving us trouble. Shalom, you are not supposed to be here. I don't know what actually you can hear.
I love you.
Sorry, guys. We have to make do with what we have. Oh.
It'll be better.
Yeah, no problem. Please.
Papa, I put off mommy with 3 with 2 chairs.
Hello, guys. Welcome on board to this live. We've been trying to
Arrange.
organize. It's not really doing well. Jenny, please. Let me see if I can share the live. Somebody is on. Can you let us know if you can hear us? Who is this? Miro Slav or whatever. I don't know. Thank you for joining us. There's always an issue with first beginnings. We are not giving up. This is a topic that I really want us to talk about because I feel like it's so important. Yeah, can I have water to drink too, please?
Do what I know, like.
Now, which water?
Oh,
what's up? This is water bottle. Yeah, so guys, we are going to be talking today about polygamy because I feel like I'm writing a book on that, and I'm writing a book on that, and I brought my parents here because my parents actually grew up in a polygamous home, and they too became polygamists. So it's kind of like I'm like, okay, let's bring these guys and ask them, like, you grew up and you knew the disadvantages of something. It's kind of like the analogy of somebody falling into a pit and another person following that same pit. So we are going to talk with my dad, and it's going to be honest, but as much as we want to be honest, we want to also protect people who are not here. All right, Jenny says she can hear us. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for joining. I know it's quite late with you guys. That is a big sacrifice. We don't take it for granted. Yeah, so it's kind of like asking my dad, like, Father, you grew up seeing all these disadvantages of polygamy. Why is it that you got into polygamy, So when I started writing and doing research on polygamy, I felt like, wow, it's not only me who struggled with that. And even just growing up in a polygamous home, I see my siblings, like, I'm different. And it's over time that I've learned. But I feel like my siblings, some of them are struggling, even just growing up with them and seeing their reactions. Sorry, guys. And seeing their reaction over time, you know for sure that they are not so happy with being born in that in the polygamous situation. We can't change anything, and I'm not here to expose my dad. I'm not here to make my dad feel bad. Yeah, Genevieve says it's a family pattern. Yeah, and one thing that people fail to understand, people will join us here and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm happy that I'm not from a polygamous home." But you have a dad who has gotten married and is having extramarital affairs outside and having children outside. It's still another form of polygamy. So polygamy has just mitigated. How is that the right word? Like, it has mutated. Yes, it has mutated over time into different forms of relationships because people are afraid to, like, face the women. But it's worse now, right? Because people could be held accountable in those days. Like, why did you get married to 2 wives? Like, take care of your 2 wives. But now people in hidden places have children that you never know of. Yeah, back to our focus. I'm just here today to talk with my dad. My dad is Mr. Nigmu Martin on my right. My mom is Madam Achiri Gladys. And these are people who grew up in polygamous home. I grew up seeing step auntie, step uncle, step brother, step sister. So it's kind of like, I mean, looking at me, Let me know in the comment section what you think, but nobody wants to share their dad or mom with somebody. That is obvious, right? We meet situations, we can't change them, but nobody wants to be in that situation. So I'm going to be asking some very important and technical questions to my dad, not to spotlight him, but just for others who are watching to be able to learn, from his example, to be able to know, like, maybe think twice if they are doing something like that, or do better, if they had made that choice. We can always reconcile. Healing comes in so many forms. Somebody can just watch this video and the way things are explained is their healing. Others is like, okay, I want to know the truth. They can also ask questions to their relatives, ask questions to their own dad and mom and all of that. And all we desire is healing at the end of the day. I don't know if oh, thank you so much. I see Patal. I don't know, but she says, I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a good day too. So let me give the mic to my dad. There's no mic, physical mic. The floor to my dad. But before then, guys, I want us to respect my stepmom. My stepmom is no longer she died, she passed. I want us to respect her. We are not going to say anything that will hurt the children. And I want us to respect my step grandmother as my father's stepmom. I want us to respect the other siblings that are not a part of this. My idea is healing, and my idea is for us to learn. Nothing else, please. So when we talk, there will be specific details related to these people that I've named that we are not going to talk about. We are not going into details about. But I know for sure that polygamy, like if you ask me, plain fit, polygamy is a no-no. Anyway, let me hear from my dad. He might have a different opinion, or he has a different opinion. Yes, but let's begin from somewhere. I will ask you questions so that it's easy for you.
Okay.
So, Papa, I know we started the other life and the field, but this is the question. You grew up in a polygamous home, and how was it like? I know for sure that you told us stories that were not really like good and we cannot share here, but it wasn't advantageous to you. Like, it wasn't a good place for you. Do you think, like, if you had not grown in a polygamous home, you would have been in a better position than where you are now? Have you ever thought about that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes, but how was it growing up in a polygamous home?
I know that it was not easy.
Yes.
Especially for me, that I lost my mother early.
Yes, loud, Papa.
Yes, loud. But being in a polygamous home today, that's myself getting married to more than one wife, is deliberate.
But that's not my question. It's giving me. How was it growing up in a polygamous home?
It was not easy.
Yeah.
It was not easy. It was not easy.
Then when he asked now, then why do you came?
Yeah, then okay, yeah. So okay, it wasn't easy for you, right?
Yes.
And part of the reason was because you had lost your stepmom. Do you
My
also
mother.
sorry, you had lost your mom.
Yes.
So do you also know that even if your mom was alive and you were in a polygamous setting, you would not still get the benefit that God would have wanted you to get as a child? Do you know that division, there was that, like, something was meant to be for you and they are going to share it for other children? Attention, focus, treatment, care, all the things that you were supposed to receive as a child from a mother and a dad. Do you know that with a polygamous home, those things are not there? Did you witness that?
I know.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you know that, right?
Yes.
And there were a lot of things I know for sure from the stories. You were even sponsored by a different person all entirely for you to have gotten to this level of education and all of that. It was somebody else that had to sponsor you because it was not easy to even get
Basic education.
basic education from your family. And part of that is because your father is like tilted towards like so many directions. Okay. So now this is my second question, Papa. You knew that you grew up in this situation and it wasn't a good one for you. What made you to still make that choice of getting married being a polygamous, polygamy? Sorry. I'm sorry, like it's bubbling in my heart, but okay, you grew up and there are some things you pointed out. I have my own things that I'll point out as a child who grew up in a polygamous home that you as our current parent, you do not know. But it's just different, right?
Yes.
And there are a lot of things that we miss out. But what made you, let's start with that. What made you to still decide to enter into the same pot soup that your dad was.
I have said my situation to me is deliberate because
was deliberate, not is you're not doing
it
it.
was deliberate. Yes. Besides losing my mother early, I lost my own one womb brothers and sisters all, and I was left alone. So I really wanted a family. I love to get a family that would build up my own brother, my present look like getting my mother, my brother, my sisters, and so on. I really loved getting my own family that I would say these are my own children and grandchildren.
Yeah. So I mean, thank you for that answer, Papa. That might not be the answer I would want to. That might not be me making a choice just based on that, okay? But that was you in that situation, right? Making a choice based on that. So I'm just doing this so that people can learn, because sometimes we make choices and we have a single reason why we are making those choices, but when we make those choices, it affects a whole lot of other things. Because when we are making those choices, we don't take into consideration the consequences of our choices, right? We cannot see everywhere. No, if you are deliberate, you can see. If you are watching us and you are a polygamist, or you are intending to be a polygamist, whether you want to go to the round where you have other women, or you are somebody keeping other women and you're having children for them, this message is for you. That decision you are making is going to not only affect you, it's going to affect the children. I don't even know if you look at it generally. My father had a reason for becoming a polygamist, okay? We are not exactly throwing away his reasons, but we are also saying that, okay, this is the reason you made. But do you know that the reasons you made was just wanting more children, right?
Yes.
Wanting to have brothers and sisters. But I feel like you can have them with one woman.
Yeah.
Right? So why did you not think about that? Why, like, it must not be multiple women.
Well, maybe I was of the world. Then
Thank you.
too, I admired good polygamous homes. Yes, family.
Okay, so did you guys say, I don't know if you heard that, but my father said he was of the world. So before he became a polygamist, he didn't know God. So his choices were also tied to the fact that he had there are reasons. I don't want my dad to come and say I loved more women or I admire more women and all of that. Those are some of the things that could be hidden in there. We don't know. My dad would have been somebody too that looks at women and be like, oh, I like this one. I like a woman that is tall. I like a woman that is fat. I like a woman that is short, and then you keep adding. That is some reasons why people get into polygamy, But even if he had those reasons, one of the things he has just shut my mouth with is to tell me that he regrets. Like, if he's saying that he did that when he was in the world, that is indirectly telling us that if he was with Christ, he would have known better. He would have made a better choice. Okay? So that said, I'm not going to punch on my dad and all of that. Like I said, this is not a session where I'm trying to make my dad feel bad, because this is a decision that has already been made, right? But now we are trying to salvage people who are already going through the stress that comes with that decision. We are trying to talk to families. We are trying to talk to people to make them heal, So since my dad has ended at that side, I'm going to go to my mom and ask my mom.
May I continue? May I say something?
Yes. What do you like?
Yes. I love making my own family big, so that through that my own family I will be able to have my own brothers. My children will be like my brothers and my sisters, the girls and the boys. But one thing that men should understand is that women are complicated, and if you are not very careful, women are complicated, and if you are not very careful, you may not know it from the word go. Because until you are together, before you can discover maybe there was something, maybe it was a problem, this one.
No, but that's not a fine statement to say. Where is it women? Some.
Okay,
because
some.
it's not,
some.
yeah.
Yes, some.
Because,
some are complicated.
like,
yes, sorry.
And let me tell you something. One of the things you fail to understand is this. as a woman, nobody wants to share their husband with another person.
Okay.
The moment a woman gets married to you and know that you are somebody that is going to get another woman, their attitude changes.
Okay.
Same as the men. Like, why are you talking about only women? Like, men, are men happy? Are you happy if you hear that your wife is going to have another husband or have somebody else?
No, you will not be happy.
So it's a two-way thing. So it's just like, there is this same as with your children, right?
Yes.
Not all of us have embraced polygamy and we are living life and healing faster. Or there are some siblings among us that are not happy. Okay, even from just growing up, you already notice their attitude, you already notice the way they deal with things, the bitterness in their words, the way they act, and all of that. So that is stemming from the fact that I don't think they would have been that way if they had just you and their mom. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is this, Papa. I'm trying for us to use your own position now as an example and the things we've experienced growing up as children from a polygamous home to make people understand that polygamy is not the ideal situation. Situations should occur. I do you know that I'm partly a polygamous person? Because I'm married to somebody that was married before, automatically I'm going to deal with stepchildren. So do you see, like, this is kind of like a pattern? And in some way, mine might not be something that is so intentional, but at the end of the day, the disadvantages it still comes up to the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So we are just getting to a point. I've been talking about marriage, I've been talking about healing from the disadvantages of marriage. I'm drinking garlic, guys. Please, sorry for my if there's anything wrong with my brain. Anyway, so so this is it, right? So I am missing my thoughts,
No,
but
you wanted to ask me a question.
yes. Anyway, so let's go back to my mom. But before going to my mom, I'm just saying children struggle, parents make decisions, and my father has a reason, right? He wants more children. He wants many children. But I look at him like, you didn't even end up having the many children that you desired. Like, what was the essence? You could have. How many of us?
God, I have one.
Yeah, you have other children.
Yes, I have. I mean, no, from just I have.
Yes.
3
When you-
plus 5. One woman born 10, 12.
Yes.
No problem, but
Yeah,
you don't-
one woman
you-
can give birth to
you-
10.
yeah,
So it doesn't make sense.
from the word go, you cannot determine that.
No, yes,
from
that's
the-
true. But,
yeah, from
but
the word go,
that's
you cannot determine.
you cannot determine, Papa. But that is the thing about just staying with one, and then if you can't determine, that means God wants it that way, right? But now we are not going to judge you on
Yeah,
God's side
really.
because you didn't know about God then, right? So we are not
Yes.
going to use that basis. We are going to judge you based on how the situation was in those days. But do you know that there are still men from in those days that had their situation, but there are men who did not have any brothers or sisters and ended up getting married to their wives, and they didn't have any children, and they refused to get married to another wife. So it is a choice, right? Even in those days, even people who were unbelievers, we want to give you the excuse of not knowing God, but we want to also tell you that even people who are unbelievers still have the idea that it is difficult to take care of a single wife and children, not to talk of two women in the same.
Okay.
Like, it must not end up being in the same building, but Jenny, why are you laughing so loud? It's getting hot in here. All right, so we are going to come back to my dad, but before we do, my mom also has her own shots. Let me know why she grew up from a polygamous home, guys. My dad's father was married to 3 women. My mom's father was married to 3 women. And there was disaster everywhere. In fact, they give you the gist of what they grew up experiencing. You'll be like, wow, I'm so sorry. And then you hear that they got married to, like, they became polygamists. You're like, what happened? So let me hear from my mom. She got married when she was so young, but I'm like, why would you make a choice like that? Like, I haven't experienced polygamist. Why? Like, let's hear from her.
Yeah, I grew in a polygamous home.
Loud,
But I was so young when I got married. And when I saw the things that were going on in our own house, I thought that maybe the women are not good.
You'll be
So
better.
so I thought that if I get married, because I see them fighting, I don't see what they are fighting over. I don't understand. There was a point that I told my mom, my stepmother, that what are you people fighting? If I have my husband, he said, until you get there, my dear. And I was like, when I get there, and when he came and he said he was from a polygamous home, I too was from a polygamous home. So I thought that, and then I was treated in a way, even though you say we should not go there, I was not really happy the way things went.
Yes.
Yes, so I said I will show an example when I get married to somebody. I will be the best,
Oh.
and I will make a best home.
Ah, yeah, Kelem Bombo. Guys, these people are laughing about it, so we can laugh in the session, but this is serious, guys. Did you hear?
I remember when I got married to him, he had a child. I just heard it. I went to the compound to get the child. I had even my
co-wife.
my co-wife children. I took care when they were not there. I would cook food and send. I go and give the children. I even take their dresses to wash, thinking that I am Madam fix things.
Yeah.
But it didn't work.
Yes, it didn't work.
Oh,
And it will never work, guys. Even the ones who tell you that they cooperate, there is something. It will not be only with the wife, it will go to the children. They cooperate with the wife, it will be a children. It cooperate with the children, it will be the wife. So there's always going to be that knockheads. And that is why God wanted to save us the stress. He said, a man, he did not say men or women. Say, a man will leave his parents and be cleaved to the wife. He did not say wives.
And they shall become one.
And the two shall become one. So it's not, you cannot make one with 3 women or 4 women now, guys. It doesn't work. So did you guys hear my mom's? My mom wanted to be a superhero. Clap for my mom, guys. Clap for my mom. So, Shalom is clapping for my mom. So, guys, this is my mom. She grew up from a very disadvantageous situation where she had to experience fights, disagreements, back and forth, see her father struggle, see her stepmother struggle. Like we said, we'll not go to details, but it wasn't a very good situation. I mean, even just still growing up as a child in that situation, like just seeing the step, going to visit and seeing how the situation is bad. Like between the children is bad. Between like even in our own situation,
jealousy.
like how jealousy. In our situation, how many of us can even visit? Like, can I really, I can barely count the number of times that we will really sit with our step brothers and sisters and really deliberate the way children from the same home will sit and deliberate, right? It's a difficult thing because of what? Because polygamy is just that way. That is how it is. So my mom is explaining that while she grew up, she noticed a lot of things that were not good with polygamy, but her idea for getting married was she wanted to be a better example. So she saw what maybe her step parents were doing that were not okay, and she said to herself that, if I get married to my husband, even if when somebody came to marry, it was somebody that came from a polygamous home. He told the people that she told herself that even if I get into that situation, I'll better manage it. I can better manage it because I've learned from my experience. And at that stage of her life, how old were you even?
17.
Yes. What was it? 17. Like, I mean, I think my dad let's leave your age out of it. Like, I don't want to give a lot of details, but in that situation, like, what do we say? See how they have reasons, but yet the consequences of their actions still stays. It still happens, right? So I'm telling people right now, or I'm telling all of us watching and discussing, the decisions we make, the choices we make, whether we like it or not, it comes with consequences. Whether we had reasons for making them, it will still haunt us. It's kind of like my situation where I got married to my ex-husband after seeing all the red flags, right? And I wanted to prove myself, like my mom said. We want to always prove ourselves. But at the end of the day, you fall into situations and your children have to struggle, right? Your children have to share parents. Your children have to share a lot of things. It's difficult to have that intimacy, like that kind of like closeness with your father where you just go and sit and you're talking. It's like, no, it's kind of like sometimes you look at your father, it's like, is this a stranger or my father? Yeah, so before you start talking with your father, another child comes in and it's like, who is this? Who is this stranger, And guys, one of the things that I even struggled with most is the fact that I'm the first child of that marriage, right? Of this union. And another thing that I struggled with again is the fact that my mom is the second wife, right? So it's kind of like, it would have been like, oh, mom, if you were the first, I would have been like, yeah. But now I'm also looking at weighing things and be like, you were young, you couldn't make like. So
And because my mother too was not there to advise
yeah,
me.
and in both cases, their moms were not around. Oh my God, somebody is so arrogant. Somebody says, "Shut up." Yeah, yeah, Beans or whoever. If you we don't entertain that here, please. If you say that again, I'm going to just block you. You have no right to tell us to shut up, please. I don't deal with people like that. I don't know how you came here, please. You don't need to be here if you don't want to listen to this conversation. All right. Thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for the support. Send us some love, guys. Anyway, so let's continue. So I got interrupted, but what I'm trying to say here is this: healing is needed. Do you know, even as it is right now, my dad might not know it, but my dad needs healing. My mom might not know it so much, but I know my mom knows it. She needs healing. And it's kind of like a lot of layers. A lot of layers to break off from. Sometimes it gets difficult because we don't even know how to start. But it's like a layer and layer and layer of things that you have to heal from. Heal from just being raised in that kind of situation. Heal from trying to grow into that situation. How you were able to maneuver at your ages. Heal from the fact that your parents were not there to support you. So my dad's mom actually died, but my grandmother had left the marriage. So she couldn't, I don't know what happened, like that is personal to her. She's of late too. I want to protect her image. I want to do the best to also secure her. I don't want to talk anything about her that is negative online. If she was here, would have been laughing about it and talking about it, but since she's not here, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about my stepmom negatively. I don't want to talk about my step grandmother negatively. Please, I can talk about my dad and my mom and we will laugh about it and fix it here, but anybody that is not here and not part of this panel, I don't want to say anything personal to them, except that they come on or they want to join this session at some point. That's different, but for now, let's deal with us who are present here. So mom, so where that let me ask you this question: did you ever regret at some point, did you ever regret your actions, your decisions for like becoming a polygamist? Did you ever think about it and feel like, did you even notice the disadvantages? Have you ever noticed, look past and just seeing how your children are growing, see how things are? Like, I don't think you enjoy the warmth of a father having children to like just gather together and call you and you sit in between them and you're happy, like both ways. I don't want you to look at it only from my own mother's children. I don't want you to look at it from my stepmother's children, because sometimes it gets to a point where you can easily discuss with them separately, discuss with us separately. But why do you want to live that kind of life? Like,
That is not the essence of a
yes.
polygamy.
But for me, I'm very, very grateful to God because amongst my children, from both, from all women, there's no extreme. The extreme cases are not. I don't witness it.
Do you think that people will come and tell that, Papa, this is extreme case? Like, I mean, it's difficult to bring children from different women and have them like easy for you to be a dad. Like a dad, you know how sometimes fathers sit back and see their children associate, do things together, grow together, and they are so excited. Did you ever experience that? You've never experienced that. No,
Okay, no.
you've not like my brothers. Like I'm so grateful for like my brothers, and I'm grateful for my siblings. But one of the things I know for sure is that it's awkward. Polygamy is awkward, guys. Let me know in the comment section. It is so awkward. Like, this is somebody that you should have been relating with all of that, but you keep thinking like, this is my half brother, this is my half sister. Even if you do as much as you can, there's always this awkwardness, and that is something that I feel like the parents have to see. If the parents do not see and know these things, they will keep doing this, making the same choices. So if you can be a parent and be like, my dad doesn't see anything like as if there was some difference, all of that. And I don't blame him, because his upbringing too didn't give him room to know what it looks like to feel home, to feel in a family where you're working, like everybody's just on the table, talking together, happy, doing things together. He didn't experience that. So whatever he's seen now is okay for him, right? But it's not okay to me. After going through school, after experiencing, studying and all of that, I get to know I weigh two things, and I know how it feels like to be in a home where you have just your mom and your dad, and how it could feel like to be in a home where you have other brothers and sisters from another woman, or other, like other siblings. Like, yeah, it's different. It's different. That is why I said my dad needs healing, right? That is why I say, like, even topics like this, when we talk, I feel like it triggers his brain. It gives him thoughts, like food for thought. When he sleeps at night, he will think about it too. Because, see, Papa, the fact that you grew up, I know now it's different because, okay, now let's say you are in Canada, you are with us, and we are fine. But I feel like if you had grown up in a situation where you had that love, that togetherness, that family unity, you see your father come out, take care of his children, you see children sit around the table, everybody happy, you wouldn't have made that decision of getting married to a polygamous home. No matter the decision you say, I want them more children, it wouldn't have been enough, because you would know that you miss out on these things, right? You miss out on the advantages you are gaining by being in that family system. But now I see you, both of you grew up from a home where it's like shared. Everybody is like this man's mother, this one's mother, step this, step that. So you already see that fight and all of that. So now if you don't see fight from us, it's like everything is fine. But sometimes the fight you see physical is better than the fight you don't see. Do you know that? Do you know the Cold War, right? You guys have learned about the Cold War.
Yes.
Yeah, there are family situations where a step family, you never see a physical fight, but they have spiritual fight, they have psychological fight, they have mental fights, they have all kinds every kind of fight that you can ever imagine.
Yes.
So now the thing is that you are not seeing it physically, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And what do you think, Mom? What do you think about that? My dad, he too has confirmed.
Yeah, it's true. I remember even my father regretted. Well, he regretted having more than one wife, especially on his dying bed. He
Yeah.
called us and told my brothers that nobody gets married to two wives, and nobody goes out for another wife after having a wife in their house. And then to us, the girls, he said nobody gets married to somebody that is already married. Or then I asked him that, what if you get married and the man goes? He said, my compound is there, because the trouble that is in polygamy is more than. He said, my houses are there, nobody is staying there. Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
So on his dying bed, my grandfather, who was a polygamist, married to 3 wives, regretted his actions. And one of the things he did was to tell his children, call them around and tell them, please, never try this. Do you know my granddad actually died very young because of the challenges of polygamy? So you see how you make decisions and they deal with you. My father, I'm glad that he got the chance to be in this kind of situation, to be able to talk, to be able to get this chance of being able to travel out of the country. God showed my father mercy, because my father is currently older than my grandfather when he died, right? When my grandfather died, my maternal grandfather died, he wasn't your age.
Okay.
Yes, he was not yet your age.
Yes, he was 66.
Yeah. So and you see why I'm saying some people get to get away with it, but some people don't get away with it. So God has blessed you so much. I pray you'll be able to see his hand in action and know that it would have been worse than this. But my grandfather, so many polygamists do not have the same advantage. Same as me seated here. Some children do not see the light from polygamous home. So I thank God every day that I've been given this chance. That is why I always tell people, when it comes to sharing my testimony, when it comes to sharing my story to encourage people, I don't think twice, because I know without God, I wouldn't be seated here. Yes, I know the trials I went through growing up as a child. I know the kind of spiritual attacks, challenges that I had to encounter growing up as a child.
It's true.
So it's not only from, I don't want to associate it only from my father's side, my mother's side, like everywhere, like that. The atmosphere is dark. When sometimes the polygamists are not the problem, their wives are not the problem, but because the enemy knows that when the home is already divided in that way, there is loopholes. He uses those loopholes to enter and target the children, target the wives, target the husband, target a lot of things. So as much as I'm not going to pinpoint and say this person attacked me, but I know for sure that I struggled. If you've read my book, Garden with Thorns, you are going to see the series of challenges that I had to encounter or growing up because of the fact that I came from a polygamous setting, like in all its dimension. My father came from, like, I had to deal with my step uncle, step aunt, step grand, whatever. Then my step from my mother's side, step, and then my own step, like, it's just step everywhere. Like, that is not what God wanted for his children. Like, and I tell myself, I said, how did I get here without the grace of God? Without God's favor? How did I get here? How did I get to a point where I can still see these things? I can still reason these things and still be sane. It's bad. Like, even being the first fruit from this union, it's like, whoa, it's hard. I feel like my siblings will not see a lot of this, but I grew up seeing a lot of it. A lot of it. Like, we don't want to talk about it here. Yeah. So let me quickly, I don't know, let me have, where's my computer? Yeah, so Papa, let's take it this way. Yes, that's it. Let's take it that you were given the chance, okay, to talk to a man or a woman. I don't want you to only look at your own situation and judge based on that. I want you to look at the disadvantages other people are struggling because of polygamy. I know you said you looked at the advantages of polygamy. That is why you decided to, like, you were happy, you wanted to still copy from them. But what about the disadvantages? Look at the situation. There was a story we heard about a man who got married to 2 wives, and they had children. And one of these days, one of the women went to the market, and the other woman was in the house, and she picked one of the co-wife's child and dropped that child inside the well. The child drowned, and her own son saw what happened. So when the mother of that child that was drowned came back from the market, I was asking where the baby was. The young son of the other woman took the woman and went and showed her that this is where my mother dropped the baby here, and the baby is there. So she could see her baby floating in that. This is, she picked that child and threw the child inside the well, and the child drowned. Those are fight. Those are real fight. We cannot talk. We had neighbors who were polygamists. You get out at 12 minutes, people are fighting. I know at some point we had we were a family where it's, at some point my stepmom was not at home with us. Like, she didn't have to.
Together.
Yeah, they didn't live together under one roof, but still, even in those situations, polygamy is polygamy. Even if you marry them and put them in Great Britain and wherever, provided there is that rift, it must not be so obvious, but it's going to be there, guys. It's going to be there. So I want to ask my father, based on all this analysis, that if you were seated here and you had to advise your sons about polygamy, what will you say as a child of God now? Please, I know that a lot of people are watching. I don't want you to I don't want to change your ideas, but I want you to know that you are not doing this for yourself. You are saying this as somebody who has witnessed other things, witness even your upbringing, and see that there should be something that should be done better. So if you were to advise somebody, what will you say when it comes to the situation now?
One, in a Christian setting, I would advise my children not to be polygamous, not to get married to more than one wife in a
Yes.
Christian setting. Then, in the life of those ups and downs of the polygamous home, I can still advise them not to be married to more than 2 women.
Yeah, so both ways, you
Both
see
ways.
that it's not a good thing, right? So guys, my father has said it. He says, he sees to me, I hear him say, I see God has shown me mercy. I see God has helped me to be able to still connect with my children, even in different, like, there's the disadvantage, but it's not too obvious as other people. But still, as a child of God, I feel like it would have been better, if I didn't make that choice, right? And for me, I don't advise my child or any other children or anybody watching me to enter into polygamy because of the negative aspects of it. So, Mom, what do you think? Like, I think there was a question I asked Papa. I want to ask you that same question.
Okay, what's your question?
Yeah. So, Mommy, let me ask you this question. If you were to live life, like, let's say God gives you another chance, and you were to make a different choice, like, what would it be? Like, do you think even if you saw somebody that was so nice, so kind, and everything, you still make the choice of, like, sometimes we want to look at the people who we are married, getting married to, right? Because let me tell you guys something. I know polygamy is, we are talking about the negative things, but there are some people that are married to single women that are not responsible. So it's not about responsibility here. It's about, my question is about being in a polygamous home, looking at the disadvantages of it, right? So we don't want to base our decision on this person is kind, this person is not kind. Like, whether it's kind or not, entering polygamy is entering one chance. I don't want to influence your choice. Make your choice.
No, yeah, for me, if I was to come back to be a young girl to get married, I cannot even talk to a man that is already married, let alone getting married.
Yes.
We will have nothing to discuss
Yeah.
to go as far as saying something about getting married.
Yeah.
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 Can never
Yeah.
be-
Not to say you regret, like, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
I'm here as a child from this union. We are not saying so to say we are regretting. Like, we cannot regret. They cannot regret me, guys. I'm indispensable.
No,
By the grace of God, right?
I could still get married to a single man and
I
keep
still have
your
me
name
because I was
because-
among your ex.
Yes, you're my ex. So it's not
And I will
like,
still have the gap to stolen from you.
so it's not like one can regret, but there's nothing we can do now.
Yes.
So just to tell other people that don't enter this very soup is not a good one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and it's kind of like a message from somebody that has lived it twice.
Yeah.
Do you know that you've lived it twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the fathers are not responsible, right? If the fathers are not, their minds are not in one place, the children suffer. The children have to take the responsibilities that the fathers and the mothers
And
could take.
there was one thing that I wanted to say.
Yes, go ahead.
There's this thing that I want to tell parents.
Yeah.
When your girls are growing up, your children are growing up, treat them with love, care. Because sometimes we enter polygamy home just because we want to find somewhere to hide,
Yeah.
to go, to leave the, let me say, the troubles in your family, to go somewhere and make a home. Yes. At that moment when you are in a desperate situation, you don't think what you are doing. So what I would advise parents, make your girl children your friends, so that they will know that the home where they are is a place to be.
Yes, they are accepted.
They are accepted. They don't need to go somewhere except need really be.
Yes.
When there is that need that really be, they will look for good choices. But if they are in a home that they are scolded, they are rejected in a way, they are suffering, then they see somebody that promise, no, you are, when I get married to you, I will be together. You will not think of any other thing but going.
Yeah, go and then face the consequences.
Yeah. So I would tell parents, as your children grow up, show them love, concern, and even tell them that marriage is not, because sometimes they'll say, go and marry. If you don't like it, go and marry.
Oh, thank you for that, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like somebody being productive, becoming whole is because you got married. Like, marriage is all about it. So you're not fighting to train up your children, you're not fighting to equip them. Like, and that is one thing about my dad. My dad didn't joke about our education. Like, and that is one of the things that I'm like so proud of, because I miss the fact that he had 2 wives, he had children to deal with. Every child had the chance, except you mess it up. Every child was given the chance by my dad, even if he was struggling financially. But when it came to education, even my mom, like, that is where I'm like, okay, and I'm proud to bring them here, not to expose them, not to come and say, oh, this my dad, they made so horrible decisions. Yes, they did, but I see where they were coming from. Okay, and I want you guys to learn from me. This is us being vulnerable, not because we feel like we are in a position where we are so angry, we are so sad, and all of that. No, from a position where we are healing and we want others to heal with us, right? Because my dad, except for the fact that polygamy is polygamy, my dad did the best he could. My mom did the best she could. To, like, this, I'm an evidence, right? I went to school. If I didn't go to school, I would not be able to articulate the way I'm doing, right? I would not be able to sit here, and I would not be able to bring them where they are today. So it's just saying, okay, look at me. Even if you feel that I've made it in life by the grace of God, do you know I could still do better if I grew up in a home where it was just a single dad and a mom?
Yeah.
Do you have something?
Now, the difference between you and let me say my own children, is that many of you cooperated with us.
Okay.
Yes, many of you cooperated with us. But there are families where you are in a situation like that and the children don't even cooperate with you. When you want to go to school, they are trying to...
Jenny, what was the message you sent? Yeah,
Have
okay.
you opened up here?
Yeah, I know. Yes, you can open it there. You can also watch it from there. All right, yeah. So my dad is trying to say sometimes in the polygamous, some people can get angry and be like, "But why was I born here?" And they just like neglect. They don't want to go to school. But that was not our case. A lot of us went to school. It was a struggle, right?
Yes.
It was a struggle financially because like we had to deal with the pressure. Yeah. So my Jenny just said pressure makes some women want to marry into polygamous homes, and pressure makes some people too get into polygamy. So you have to go to my name. You have to type in Leslie. Yeah. So thank you, Jenny, for that contribution. So, yeah, thank you for that contribution. Obviously, right? So, like my mom explained, you don't know, like that is all you can get at that time. You just want to be safe. You just want to be somewhere by yourself. The hope is that it will be better than where you are coming from, but you end up in the same pot of soup. It might be a different setting, but it's the same. It ends up the same.
That time we say, if I get married, if I go, it cannot be like what I'm facing here. It will be better. I will manage. I can manage.
I will be my own home.
Yes, yeah, you will be your own home. You will lie low no matter what. You will just lie low because But finally, you see that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So you see that it says life. Okay, let's share this from your page. Let me see if I can share it. Share the video so people know we are live. Yes, guys. So go ahead. I think Jenny was asking a question. Yeah, the pressure.
Yeah, that is what I said. That parents should not pressure their children.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes some parents even think that the girls' children are made for marriage, and they think that they can, for marriage. So they send their girl children to get married so that they can get money
as soon as possible
to train the boys, which is too bad.
I've not exercised more than 3 weeks now. I've not done any good exercise.
Yeah, so do you know, let me ask another question. Do you know, like, there are other reasons? Like, I mean, you guys have given your reasons, but do you know that there could be other reasons why other people get into polygamy, like, apart from the ones?
Yeah, I asked, can I answer that?
Yes.
From my, yeah, when I was working in Santa, there was this family that had 3 women too. Yeah, so at one point there was a fight. It was a general fight. Children from the other were fighting.
Guys, it's crazy. You have to be loud,
yeah. Then the husband was sitting on the veranda, leaning there, and they were fighting.
He was not saying anything. He was an architect, right?
Yes, he was not saying anything. So when I came, I had a meeting with them that day. I came, there is a blood was oozing out from one of the girl's head. Then when I got to the man and I asked, he said, my pikin, I've been married woman. Then I said, me they can't work farm. Me they begin work, get plenty so that they will feed. I said, but don't you think that is the same thing? If you have 1 mouth to feed, you work less. You have 20 mouths to feed, you work more. So what makes the difference? So some people get married because of because they want manpower. I have a big land, so I need women to work and coffee farm. They will harvest more coffee.
That is selfish.
You sell the coffee and you feed them. So what makes it? So I tried to say, he told me that if he had reasoned like this, he wouldn't have been. So even as they are dead, they are still regretting.
They are regretting.
Yes.
Even they are not regretting. All of them. Guys, if somebody is out of pride that somebody will tell you that they don't regret it.
I even visited one village. I met the front of the village, and when he had wives, I think he had more than 20 something women.
Oh my
So I
God.
was asking that. He said, my sister, is because I'm a phone. If not of a phone, there's no
That's no
enjoyment.
excuse.
Yes, there's because as a phone, my father will not be happy. The spirit of my father will not be happy because I'm supposed to have so many wives. And then the bad thing about their kingdom, their
Situation is that they don't even take care of the
yes,
women
they don't take care of the children, and when you die, they go and bury you back in your
in your family house.
Family house. So I was like,
Yeah, they don't take care. Like that's another situation where it's like kind of like funds. I know those are traditional things that we don't want to talk so much about, but it has a bearing. It has to be talked about.
yeah,
Because I feel like if people can watch, healing doesn't restrict. It doesn't say, oh, because I was from a fun family, I will not suffer the consequences of polygamy. Any child born in that situation
they suffer a
struggles
lot.
with trauma. There is a lot of trauma just to know that you have to share everything with another child. There's already trauma growing. There's already that infight where this is I need to protect my territory. Do you know how many children poison each other just from those kind of settings? Do you know how many children go out of like their way? Like seriously, I'm saying this, I'm thanking God for our own situation, but at the same time, no, I cannot just sit quiet because I feel like our own is better. No, polygamy is a rough road, guys. Polygamy is a rough road. Like it makes children think differently. It makes children feel like, do you know you can even get married to a wife that is just like fight because of what? Because they grew up seeing fights.
Yeah.
Because that is their survival mode. That is how they survived. It's like you can't even, like, it's bad. Sometimes we don't have those things play on us in different ways that we cannot never really be able to bring them two to two together or one on one together, but it adds up, right? It makes up for other areas of our lives. It affects us negatively. Yes. So, to those men who are, maybe I think you should give that advice. Papa will give his own. To those men that are thinking that, okay, I will get married to more wives because I can run. Some of them give excuses. This is their excuse. I can run from this one when this one is being noisy. I run.
Some even said that when you get married to more women, there is not day that you can sleep without eating. Because if this woman does not cook, the other one will cook.
Look at the kind of basis that somebody, like, look at a very uh difficult choice that somebody will make based on a silly idea of cooking. You cannot cook for yourself. You were not raised to cook for yourself. You want to marry 3 women because you want to have food every day. And you want to have that sexual pleasure every day. That's
Every day.
another thing. They
Yes.
give another example.
They say they don't.
Say, I don't mind being the second or third wife. Yeah, so women say, Jenny, I'm telling you, it's crazy, oh. It's crazy. Ha. So some women will say, I don't mind being that. Like, some people are really desperate. But one thing about life is this, so many people will not be able to. They say it is he who wears a shoe that knows where it pinches, right? So many people will hardly ever know what it feels like to be in this difficulty. Like, I ask myself, I'm like, why do you want to know it? Why do you want to feel it before you stop doing it? If somebody has already told you that it's disadvantageous, why do you want to get into it before you come out? Or before you learn? Like, why is the world like that? And that is why a lot of people do not share their stories, because it doesn't make any difference, right? People still listen to stories like this, listen to testimonies like this, and they still go back and make the same choices and end up in the same difficulties like what we are just from talking about. Like, why would you want to be a second, third wife to somebody? Like, what attention do they have for you? It's crazy, seriously. Like, even my own situation, like getting married to somebody that was married before, is still another issue altogether, right? Being in a situation where your father is not physically married to 3 women at once, but he has side women or other women on the side, is still another ball game altogether. So it boils down to something difficult. It boils down to something so technical, because God knew that it was going to be that way. That is why he decided that it shouldn't be that way. But what did we do? We told ourselves we can do better, right? We can survive. We can thrive in those situations. But where are so many people? So many people are in their graves today because of what? Because they died. They had to die young because of situation like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a selfish and funny reason, like what mom said. They want to have food, and then they'll have children from that. They forget about the children that will come from that situation, right? And then it's kind of like the one that you talked about, somebody getting married. Folks give that example too. A lot of folks give that excuse. They want to get married to so many wives so that the wives can take care, build houses. Like, I'm like, wait, and work farms. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like what my mom was analyzing, like you forget about the other responsibilities that come with getting married, right? You forget about it. It's kind of like my dad too. My dad said he got married to have more children, but more children is also like you don't see the bigger picture and be like, okay, if I struggle, I want to have 1, 2, 3 children. Take good care of those children so that they don't have to struggle. Do you know, even if God did not, like, I mean, we still have our difficulties with marriages and stuff that have happened over time, but do you know it would have been different being raised in a home where it's like, okay, you see this, how love is supposed to be, how family relate, how parents are supposed to be. Like, seriously, it's crazy. And tradition and culture has a way of playing those things. Like my dad, one of the things that happened, my dad is the head of a family, right? Like
Yeah.
they
He did that before becoming
yes,
married.
yes, he did the polygamy, but some people take that as this reason to get married to more wives. I want to have a woman in the village. I have to like everywhere they go, they have a woman, a wife. So if they were in this town, they have another wife. They come to this other town, they have another wife. They go to the next town in the village, they have another wife. Are you for real? Like you forget that these wives, these are people, these are entire human beings that you have to take care of. You have responsibility to people that are looking up to you. Why will you bear your entire decision only on what you see on the surface and forget about the deep things? It's not every woman that will get married to those people and not jealousy. Like I was listening to something Joshua Selma was talking about jealousy today, and just the kind of like how it comes to everybody. Like you have that resentment. Sometimes you have to be able to catch it and talk about it and deal with it, you know. But jealousy, have you ever thought about jealousy in polygamous home? Like hidden jealousy, anger, like bitterness,
Yeah.
resentment.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people need to heal. I pray that people will be able to watch this video and people will be able to heal from those kind of feelings.
In a polygamous home, let me just say this thing. There sometimes it's even hard for you, a parent, to show love for your children.
Yes.
Because you're afraid that if I show love, the other woman will be angry and I can do something on that
Oh
child.
my God.
Yes, you
Just
see.
imagine.
Yeah. A child will pass an exam, you say, don't tell the other person that you pass like this, because you will start saying, that one is passing like that, he will believe. So there's just too much of jealousy.
Chaos, guys. Chaos. Can you imagine? You cannot be so excited because if you're excited in front of the other woman that they
Yes, they will say, so you are showing special
What's
love.
up with that? Chai, guys. This polygamy, this thing is a deep, deep thing. It's a very deep topic. Hopefully, we can still talk about this. But let me see if I have a few questions again. Yeah, we've talked about what shaped your beliefs. Like, Papa, yes, that's a good question. Your beliefs in polygamy, your beliefs in marrying more than one wife. What shaped it? Do you think growing up in the village, there were so many people that lived that way? Like, you just saw it. You saw your father. It's not only your father, example, you saw other people. Like, what shaped your beliefs? Even just normal beliefs, like your belief system as a whole, and then marriage. What shaped it? Who can you really say was your role model?
Well, from outward vision, you see some families in polygamous home, you know that they are living well, they are feeling fine. But one of the weaknesses is that you have not gone close to them. Yeah, close to
Thank
them.
you. I wanted you to.
Until you go there.
I'm so happy for you because you are saying it, but you are then seeing the other part of it. Because nobody, like most people, will hide it. Oh, most people, you will not know it until they say it is he who wears the shoe that knows where it pinches. That's why I tell people avoid it. Don't even think that you want to do it before you no, don't learn from your learn from people's mistakes. Don't wait to learn from your own this thing. Everybody has experience. Everybody will have to learn from something. But if you can avoid it and make the right choices, make it and enjoy your peace. Please make it and enjoy your peace. And mothers, like my mom said, please, your children are not just born for marriage. That is not the entire reason for raising girl children or boy children. No, the entire reason is not marriage, because somehow it's like, okay, for boys are made to understand that they will have to get married. They have to get married. Girls are made to no, they have to take work because they will have to take care of women. So it's kind of like sometimes some people will be like, oh, because I have more money, I can marry more wives. That's crazy, mommy. They're distracted and you're not even on the live.
No, and the thing is that this writing, they block me whether they even see me somewhere.
They see you. The writings will not be there when I post it. It will be under. So guys, I'm trying to get some more questions. So I've asked my father. My father says what shaped his his ideas or whatever was being raised and seeing some successful polygamous homes, right? And then mom, what do you think shaped your own?
Like I said, my own was from a foolish idea that I had.
Your
That
voice
if
is low.
my own was from my experience with my own parents. So I thought that when I go, I will be a better person. I will have learned that sometimes they will be fighting and you don't know what they are really fighting. So why should people fight for nothing? I will not fight for nothing. So when I go to my own home, I will not fight for nothing, because you cannot, as a small child, that at that time you don't know what they're really, you could not think that they are fighting because of polygamy, because there are two of them. You just think that maybe it's their weakness, they are just fighting. So I cannot say that something really shaped me, or I saw something that was good there. Instead, what I saw was not good, then I was going to correct the mistake. Yeah.
My brother became God. So I'm the next people that I'm creating, I'm correcting this mistake.
Yeah.
It will not happen again. So yeah, I mean, one of the things that I want people to carry from this session today is this: decisions you make, I think I said this, come with consequences.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you made them out of ignorance,
Yeah.
you made them out of ignorance, whether there's something like ignorance or ignorance,
Willfully.
willfully or willfully, decisively or decisively,
Still,
half thinking or drunk or not drunk, whatever choices and decisions you make affect not only you, but it affects a lot of people around you. Like I used to say, when I had my failed, like I experienced the failed marriage that I had before, I want to always be in a place where I don't feel like that affected only me alone. Never. That is being so selfish and self-centered. My children have been affected. My family was affected. My brothers and sisters was affected. My lineage was affected. So if they want to count families that I've had people divorce from, they will count my family because I'm from there, right?
My children will.
Yes, my children were affected. I mean, affected. They are still affected. Like somehow they still struggle. It's difficult. It's difficult, but hopefully somebody watching this today is going to be able to heal from just knowing that things happen. People make choices. People make decisions, but we move. We get to a point where we're like, okay, what can I do? How can I change it? I cannot change it. I cannot go back and change the hands of time, but I can move forward with a different perspective. I can move forward and say, okay, this is my own life. I will live it better. I will do better. I pray that a bitterness will be taken out of you. I pray that anybody watching me with bitterness, unforgiveness, the spirit of like, why did I have to be born here? Who even, those kind of spirit, I pray that God will deliver you from. Because you can't go back and change the hands of time. We are where we are. And we are part of God's plan. And He loves us. And He's capable of using us. Like there have been children that have been presidents, governors from single parents, from people that were not married, from prostitutes, right? So if that case could happen, what about yours? If God could still use those people, God can still use you. Same as I'm sitting here, God is using me. By His grace is why. It is His grace that has given me the zeal, the desire to help other people heal. You see, so it is the same story that you can still take it and turn it around, and you'll be a negative thing where I'll be sitting somewhere and be like, oh, I'm so sad. I couldn't do anything for myself, because I'm not being sarcastic, guys. I'm just saying sometimes you can take it that way. Okay, don't feel bad if you are going through emotional stages and you feel like you've not healed like me. But I just want to know that I went through that situation where I felt bad, but I saw that it's not helping. It's not going to help me. For me to heal is for me to be able to share this message, for me to be able to say, okay, this has happened. What can I do? I can be better. How can I change this? Right? You know, so you can as well take it negative, you can as well take it positive, but it's going to be it's going to do you a whole lot of good if you take it positive, if you are able to learn from those experiences, our own experiences, and be like, okay, no, I don't want to go this route. I don't want to have to deal with this. And one of the things is this, like, okay, it's funny how we are talking about polygamy. A lot of people are still getting married. Like, I don't know if they are, I don't know, somebody should let me know in the comment section, but I feel like people are still getting married. Like in those typical African settings, some people still get married as polygamists. So you have a generation of step brother, step sister, step niece, step aunt, step uncle, step, like a lot of steps. What is that for?
Some people get married now, they still go into polygamy, not because they really want. They have their wife, they go out with somebody's child, they force the child, and when they are pregnant,
Yes.
you get married to them by force.
Woo! Yes, that is another way, guys. So somebody might grow up. That's why we talk about the actions, right? So somebody might grow up. My mom just brought a point up that is very important. So somebody can actually grow up and they don't want to be they don't want to be in a polygamous situation, right? But because they are cheating on their wives, they get another woman pregnant, and that woman is enforced on them. Like, I've seen a lot of things happen like that. So initially they didn't want to be polygamous. They were doing back issues, and then it ended up they had children for that relationship, and they were forced to marry to those people. So they ended up, because of their actions, becoming polygamous. So, and that is what is frequently happening. The divorce court, like in this US, oh my God, you can.
And even sometimes the pregnancy is not even their own.
Because you are cheating, you have to carry the consequences. Do you know, in some cases, it's like the girl just looks at the potential father, the person that can really take care of that child, and force the child on you. But because you had cheated with her, you cannot refuse, right? I mean, a lot of people do what do they call it, like DNA now, but it's not. No, initially you must have suffered the consequences before you do the DNA.
Sometimes DNA is even seen when the child want to do something, or they don't even go, and then they want blood.
Yeah.
They discover
before they discover. You see, so
you see now that maybe you have another child now with a man, but the first one was
this is complex.
Yeah,
okay, so my mom is saying you might have that situation where actually the girl is forcing that pregnancy on this man because she thinks that the man is potential, the man can help. Okay, in other cases, nobody will ever check the child, right? Everybody just knew that he cheated with this girl, so that's your child. It's only when now you have a situation come up that demands a blood work or all of those that you get to discover that this was not actually your child. And that is not only it. The problem, you might discover it when you have already had other children with this lady. So you cannot dismiss it in as much as the first child was not yours, these other ones are yours, and you have to deal with it. Like, it's complex, guys. My God, it is so complex. My prayer is this: my mom and my dad are still here. I just pray that they will be able to still enjoy their union. They'll be able to see that God has given them another chance. Yes, God has given them another chance. I'm not happy that my stepmom is not here, but God has his way on doing things. God has given them another chance, and I pray that they will live as an example. They'll be able to teach their grandchildren that, okay, I made this mistake, but now that I've been given a chance to stay with one woman, I'm going to do the best I can. Or I've made this mistake, now that I know that I'm staying with with the same a husband by myself, I'm going to do better, So that is my prayer for them, and that's my prayer for any other person that is watching. I pray that healing will come to you. No matter your situation, you always understand that God is capable. God is able to heal every situation. He has plans for all of us. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, it says there are plans to prosper us. No matter the situation you face, it is a plan to prosper you, not to harm you, to bring you to an expected end. Yes. Okay, guys. So I think that will be it for today. If we have more questions, we are going to obviously come back
Yeah.
and deliberate on it. My father sits back and be like, okay, Leslie, there's something that I wanted to talk about that I did not talk.
No.
I'm going to bring him live. He says, no, you will come live. He took the grace of God. Thank you so much, Papa, for honoring the invitation. I truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not every father that you can bring on this table, guys. It's not every father. Like, who are you to question an African papa? You know, so I'm happy that he respected my invitation and he spoke the truth from his heart. You know, sometimes we make mistakes, but it's not about the mistakes. It's also about us being
Outspoken.
sincere. You know, sincere. He's not doing this for himself. If you learn from this video and you do better, it is for you. Like, it's not for him, but for him to know that he will not benefit anything so much from this, but he still did it. I pray that he will truly have the healing that God desires of him, or he will get. Even you, Mami, I'm so grateful. I know you've always come to my other videos, but I'm so grateful that you were able to do this. This is a hard thing for both of you, because it's kind of like reflecting and thinking about the past and what you had to encounter, what you had to experience. It just makes you relive the experience somehow, that flashback thoughts and all of that. So, but
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, see you guys. So we are going to be getting deep on this. I'm happy that we were able to. You guys can go. That's fine. I can close up. So guys, if that interested you, if you saw this from beginning to end, that means there was something you benefited from them. Can you share this? Can you share this video with somebody that can get help from? And you know, it doesn't cost you anything. And subscribe to our YouTube channel if you've not subscribed, because on this channel you are going to watch live sessions like this. You're going to watch me share my story, be it story on just growing up from a polygamous home, be it stories of encountering divorce at a very young age, or just going through hardship, you know, difficulties. As a writer, just sharing my experience, sharing my story, bring in healing from of any sort, you know, things and lessons that I've learned because of my failed marriage, lessons that I've learned in life just from growing up through those situations I've mentioned, miscarriage, divorce, I mean, all sorts of trauma, and, you know, telling you if God could heal me, you too can be healed. I love you all so much. Thank you, Jenny, for joining this session. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for everyone that was able to join. I truly, truly appreciate you guys. I see Chota, I see Pata, or somebody. Thank you all so much. God bless you, and see you in our next session. Bye for now.